Hey friends, this is Pastor Craig and I'd like to welcome you to the broadcast. Thanks for joining me this evening. My question this evening is this: haven't there been horrible things done in the name of Christ? I recently watched a movie on the Inquisition where they used torture and death as a means of evangelism. How could this ever be called the gospel or religion of peace when these things have occurred? Okay, man, thanks for your question. Actually, I agree with you. Those are horrible, abominable, despicable acts of aggression and hatred against all kinds of people, really. In fact, if you study the Inquisition, you'll discover it's really a terrible time in the history of humanity, not just in religion. But it's important to remember this, that religion in all its facets, with all its different gods or different belief systems, have been the motivator of all kinds of horrible acts of aggression and violence against individuals. In fact, religious abuses and violence still happens to this very day, and they vary in degrees of disgust. Some of those are torture, some of those are death, some of those are condemnation and shame. Whatever way they present themselves, they're horrible acts of aggression and violence. And, they poorly reflect on God. And you can understand why it inspires unbelief in deity. So I think it places a greater emphasis and calling on you and I to discover who God is, the way that He loves people, and the way that He wants us to love one another. Interestingly enough, outside of these acts of aggression like the Inquisition or some of the other acts of violence that we see done today in the name of God, Jesus speaks mostly of love and of peace and of loving one another, caring for one another, and even feeding the least of these. I think that's the takeaway. Despite what you may have heard or the things that you may have seen or what religious people have done in His name, what were the actual teachings of Jesus Christ? What were the things that He actually said or commanded or called for us to do? Did He call for us to be a people of violence? We'll have a hard time finding that in the Scripture. Or did He call for us to be a people of love? To love not only those who are in our tribe or belief system, but to love those even outside of it. I would really encourage you, certainly history is a great thing to study. You might even look into the Salem witch trials as well to see some more terribly abominable things, along with some of the things that are done in the name of different gods currently in our world. You'll find lots of room for disdain and disgust. But if you really want to know what Christianity is about, search the Scriptures. The book of John in the Holy Bible is a great place to start. What did Jesus really say? What was His real desire and ambition for those who followed Him? It stands in stark contrast to some of the things people do in the name of God today. God bless you and thank you for your question. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great evening. If you have additional comments on this subject or something completely unrelated, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me in one of two ways on this radio program's Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ROR Ministries, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Pastor Craig Online. God bless you.